Hey everyone, and welcome back to BMX News, a weekly BMX news show where I talk about everything that happened in the previous week within the world of BMX that I think you guys might care about. That being said, the first thing that we have to talk about this week, and just for the sake of getting it into the title of this video and the thumbnail, is a video directly from BSD talking about how the BSD Revolution Hub works. If you live under a rock or for some reason you have not heard about this hub yet, the BSD Revolution is their take on the Free Night Planetary Free Coaster with some changes that also overlap into some changes in the Free Night Planetary Free Coaster. I've talked about it in a ton of videos. I know a lot of people get annoyed with how many videos I make about this thing, but they're successful and they help my channel grow. That's why I talk about it. And Grant Smith, the owner of BSD, talks in depth about the way this hub works in here. We see the internals as well as some clips from riders doing tricks that utilize the way the hub works. One in particular that really blew my mind was just a normal quarter to wall ride, but then 180 out to fakie manual on the deck of the quarter to hop back into the quarter. It was crazy. So with that being said, if you live under a rock or you haven't heard about this thing, check that video out as well as my videos about it. Again, thank you to Grant Smith for sending me a hub, knowing that I was going to make videos about this thing before they even made their videos. He definitely did not have to do that, so the fact that he did is really awesome and I'm very grateful for it. Moving on from there, we've got the news that Nikita de Carlos is now riding for Red Bull. No video or anything like that yet, but I'm very excited to see what comes of this and how she works together with other Red Bull riders, maybe even the lady shredders from down in South America. That would be awesome to see. And then the last thing that I wanted to highlight this week is the fact that Brad Sims is the 2020 Vital BMX Rider of the Year. This was announced this past week and it came with a video interview with Brad Sims with Kyle Carlson talking about all kinds of things about the fact that he's 35 years old and completely reinventing his BMX career, as well as Instagram versus video parts and his take on uploading things to Instagram that are maybe video part worthy, and a ton of other topics that are definitely interesting to listen to, so check that one out if you want to. And that brings us into the videos from this week, which another highlight is the first video that I want to talk about, and that is Corey Walsh's new cult video called End of the World. The feeling that I get from this video is, one, that Corey Walsh is basically just going to all of these skate parks and doing everything that anyone ever dreamed of when it comes to going as fast and as high and transfers. And two, this is kind of a question for all you older guys out there, is Corey Walsh to BMX and kids in BMX today what Chase Hawk was to BMX and kids in BMX when he was coming up? I know he's a little bit older than Chase was whenever Chase first kind of came onto the scene in BMX, but I feel like the going fast and style aspect of things that Chase Hawk has feels similar to the going fast and style that Corey Walsh has. It's kind of just an observation because I came into BMX after Chase Hawk was already huge and I didn't really pay attention to things like that, so I have no idea. Then the third thing I wanted to point out with this, something that I noticed with the video itself that I thought was pretty cool, and that is in the video there are multiple clips of the exact same thing put back to back. So for instance, there's a street wall ride in here that's shown more than once, and each one is a little bit different than the other. And that's what I think is cool about this, because I don't know about you guys, but when I filmed stuff and when I filmed other people doing stuff for videos like this, a lot of times they'll do the trick more than once and there will be certain aspects of the different makes that someone likes more than the other. So it kind of makes me feel like this is normalizing it when you see the same thing done more than once in this video, in a video of this caliber, and maybe we'll see this some more moving forward. And I kind of hope so, because there's a lot of nuance in BMX riding. There's a lot of different ways to do things, and there's a lot of different reasons to be stoked on how one clip went versus how the exact same thing went in another clip, and showing them more than once, I don't see anything wrong with it. So hopefully this normalizes it a little bit more and we see this more moving forward, but obviously not overkill with it where we see the same thing done 8 different times in 8 different clips in the same video. But enough about that. Let's move on to talking about the riding itself. And honestly, I can't even think of words to describe the riding of Corey Walsh in this video. Absolutely amazing. You just have to watch it. It's pretty simple. He does so many incredible lines in pulls and bowls. And you know how sometimes you watch a video and you be like, oh, I want to try that. Well, you watch this video and that thought does not cross your mind whatsoever because of how insane the stuff that he's doing is. There's so many gaps in here, like I said, that I feel like people probably just talked about or have dreamed about forever. And Corey Walsh goes and gets it done and adds a tire slide, or adds both a front and back tire bonk at the same time. This video is hands down a must watch, and if somehow you haven't yet, get down in the description and hit play. So in moving on from there, last week we talked about the Mongoose in the Carolinas video. This week we've got a video with Eastern Bikes in North Carolina that visits some of the same spots, but with a whole different crew of riders, and this one I actually really enjoyed watching. Kenneth Tencio does a huge 360 gap in the streets in here. He does an over ice pick over bar. He does his signature backflip drop in as the last clip, and what you're seeing right here. And it was kind of refreshing to see someone who's mainly known for being a contest rider being on a team trip and riding with these dudes in a place that isn't a contest course. I really enjoyed seeing that aspect of it, and seeing how well-rounded these contest riders are is something that I definitely would look forward to seeing more of in the future. And then there's a dude named Russell Somerville in this video who I'd never heard of before, who absolutely kills it, along with everyone else in the video. Also, the fact that Zach Newman and Aaron Simone, Aaron follows a lot on Instagram, are in this video too on an Eastern road trip. You can jump to whatever conclusions you want to from that. There's no official word or anything like that out there. But all in all, I really enjoyed this video, and the fact that Kenneth Tencio did the backflip drop in from the thumbnail more than once after definitely landing it in a way that would be 100% acceptable to everyone watching this video right now is unbelievable. But he went back and he did it, and he got it perfect, and he narrowly avoided a tree on his way out, and it was nuts. So while there was street riding in both of the first two videos that I talked about today, it wasn't the kind of street riding that you think of whenever you think of modern day BMX street riding. And that is what this next video is for. It's from Connor, Keating, and Stranger, and it's called Back Home. He's riding at home in Michigan. It is exactly what you would think of when you think of modern new school street riding. Tech grinds, tech lines, and one of the tricks that really stood out to me was a curved ledge manual. It was a full curved ledge that he manualed all the way around, and then it was close to a wall, and he popped out of that manual into a wall ride 90 to fakie out, and it was really just kind of a cool clip. And of course the rest is enjoyable as well, with a ton of different tech handrail grind combos, with the last clip being a pretty hefty crank arm grind down a rail. Moving on from there, there's a bunch of other videos that I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to talk in depth about. The first is with Mickey Fleck, and I think this is how you pronounce it, Juan Cintes, I'm sorry if not, in Mexico City, followed by 3 different people being welcomed to the Shadow Sabrosa family. We had Mo Nussbaumer with a 3-minute welcome video, and then we had the news, and I wanted to drop it here because it's all related, that Kevin Robinson Jr. as well as Antonio Murata are both riding for Shadow and Sabrosa. Both of these kids are on 16 or 18-inch bikes, and they shred. If you haven't seen Antonio Murata on Instagram, this kid is 11 years old, doing hard 180s and 180 bar spins, I'm pretty sure, and he's just an all-around shredder. And then Kevin Robinson Jr., yes, the Kevin Robinson's son. If you haven't seen his riding, check out the highlights video that I posted from the USA BMX Freestyle Amateur National Championship. I think I said that right. Check out that highlights video. You can find it in my videos as well as in the description down below. That is another thing we needed to talk about. It was a contest that went on this past weekend at Woodward East in Pennsylvania. I was there. I filmed the entire contest. So the highlights for that are in the description down below. If you haven't seen them yet, it got pretty crazy and it was an amazing time. So also look forward to more videos from that in the coming days on my channel. Moving on from there, we've talked about street, we've talked about park, we talked about bowls. Now we need to talk about trails. We had part 2 from the Vinyl 2020 trip. This is in New Zealand and has nothing but trails and adventures in it. And we had another trails video. This came from Jamie Cooper Ellis, and it's called The Building of the Pump House. And directly from the description on this video, it says, documenting the building of this spot in Vermont, and then some more words. So that's pretty cool. Then we've got some Flatland videos. We've got Unlocked Down with Matthias Dandois, and then Austin Liberta AM Sessions. And then we've got one for all you older guys out there that I know you're going to be stoked on. It comes from 2006 and it's a low-tech bonus video. It was uploaded to the Snakebite BMX YouTube channel. And this one features Mike Ardeline, Eli Platt, Bob Scarbo, Rich Hirsch, Seth Kimbrough, and more. 3 minutes, 29 seconds. Get down in the description and check this one out because I know that you need your healthy dose of nostalgia for the week. So then we had a couple interviews this week. The first one comes from S&M and it's called One Man and His Woods, and it's with Ricky Rat building up a brand new bike and answering questions and talking about things, and it's got some riding clips in the trails in here as well. Then we've got a continuation on the Source Park documentary. We've got episode 3, which I did watch the entire thing of, and this one kind of covers how they got to opening day when they first opened and how they got those first ramps down in there and some of the struggles behind that. Then after that, we've got another Unclicked podcast, this time with Cole Denny, or Cole from SD on Instagram. If you've seen some of his stuff, absolutely insane stuff, which there's a lot of that included during this podcast. But I really enjoyed this one. I listened to the entire thing, and it was nice to hear somebody who is completely open about the fact that they're trying to be successful with social media and a successful BMX rider and trying to make things happen. And they're trying to do it in an honest and respectable way. I really enjoyed that about this one and just all of his stories. And I had absolutely no idea that this dude competed in that dirt bike high air contest. And I'm pretty sure I remember a clip being included in here where he went 40 feet on a dirt bike. Nuts. So with that being said, let me know any thoughts you guys have on anything that I talked about today. If you're new here or you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button while you're down below leaving a comment, and hopefully we'll see you tomorrow for another video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.